everybody, it's Norm from Tested, and today I want to share with you a new quadcopter I've been using. This one's made by Fat Shark, and it's called the Fat Shark 101. We've flown a bunch of quadcopters before, and we've kind of dabbled a little bit in the FPV drone racing scene by building our own quadcopter. But a couple years into that scene, it still takes a lot of effort to build your own and to maintain your quad. And I think what Fat Shark wants to do with this product is have something that's going to be ready to fly RTF right out of the box. Now, it's very different than your DJI quadcopters because this one is made for FPV flying. It's made not only just have fun flying it around outside, but for you to fly with the view of this quadcopter with a camera built in. And a typical FPV quadcopter that you might build has a lot of components, including one, the quad. You'd build the quad with the frame, with your speed controllers and the motors. Then you'd also build in a video system with the camera and a video transmission system that goes to a pair of headsets, which Fat Shark also makes. And then of course you have your transmitter that you'd pair with that. All of these are ad hoc pieces that you'd put together. With the Fat Shark 101, you have something that has all those components that work right outside of the box to various degrees of success. So first of all, let's talk about the quad itself. This, I would say, is probably the equivalent of more like a toy quadcopter, something that's not necessarily as powerful as a competitive FPV quad, starting with the motors. These are brushed motors, or not brushless motors, so you lose some of that efficiency and power that you would get with a brushless motor system. So you're not going to be flying these at 50, 60 miles per hour, or even 30 miles per hour. You're flying these at a relatively stable, relatively like a running pace for a human. The camera system also is a locked-in camera. There's no way to adjust the angle of this camera. It's a wide-angle camera, which is decent quality. And then the battery system, which pops off right here, is pretty self-contained as well. Pretty simple LiPo battery. You get 2 of these. And one of the nice things is that these charge over USB. You don't have to build your own charging system that you would normally have with an FPV quad. It snaps right in pretty easily, and the moment you plug it in, that powers up and you're basically ready to go. Out of the box, it's already paired with this transmitter. It's a very basic transmitter. You have one pairing option to pair this. You have your disarm and your arm on your right side. On the left side, you can adjust based on a beginner mode or an advanced flight mode if you want to have it be more responsive and do things like flips and crazy stunts, which you can do with this once you get to that point. An interesting thing with this transmitter is it also has a USB port, so you can plug it into your PC. There's an app you can download. You have the license key with this out of the box that lets you practice virtual flying of a quadcopter, not with FPV goggles, of course, but gets you accustomed to the physics of flying a quadcopter without taking this out in the open. I think that's kind of nice. And then, of course, there's the headset. This headset is actually a newer model, an entry-level model that Fat Shark make. It's called the Fat Shark Recon, and they sell this by itself for $100. And it's a pretty basic headset. It's not like a VR headset, but 55-degree field of view. The screen, unlike many of the older, more high-end goggles where you have 2 screens that you can adjust the focus on, it's just one screen that's then magnified with this lens, and the resolution on the screen is basically 360 by 240. Relatively low resolution. It's not about HD video though, because it's about low latency video, analog video that comes out of this quad. The nice thing about this headset is that this has a little bit more versatility than the transmitter and the quad, in that if you go to an FPV drone event and other people are flying, you can tap into their Fat Shark transmission signals and watch what they're flying as well if you're not flying your own quad. But the flying experience, it's good. Again, it's not like your DJI quadcopter. There's no stabilization, no sonar, no optical stabilization. It's all controlled with you. You have to work with this quadcopter to keep it level, to keep it stable, and to keep it elevated. In the basic beginner mode, that's not that difficult, but if you want to do tricks and you want to actually navigate through hoops, you're going to need a lot of practice. It takes about, I'd say, about 30 minutes to an hour to really get comfortable flying this. The flight time on this quadcopter with this battery is about 4 minutes, so you can definitely pick up additional battery packs. I think they come with more for like 18 bucks for another pair, a pair of them. It doesn't fly very fast. The signal is a 1 milliwatt transmitter on the quadcopter for the video signal. So once this gets about 50, 60 feet away from you, or if you're flying indoors, if you go around the corner or up a flight of stairs, you're gonna lose that video signal. It's not a very powerful video transmission signal at all. And I'd say the best place to fly this isn't gonna be in your home office, in your living room, or in the great outdoors. It's gonna be in maybe a stadium area, like an indoor basketball court or a tennis court would be a perfect place to fly this and to get your bearings and to get into FPV. Now, the whole thing is $250, which I think is a little bit on the high end, especially when you're talking about a brushed motor system and an FPV and transmission system that has no DVR functionality, no way to record what you're flying on a micro SD card or to do video out with a composite out, which I would want because you get more mileage out of your video footage. So I think it's a little bit on the high end. I wish it had those extra features. And once you get good at flying with this, there's not really an upgrade path either with the quadcopter. You're gonna move on to maybe keeping only the headset and then building another quad with your own custom frame, motors, and transmitter. But what you're paying for is convenience. You're paying for something that you're gonna be spending more time flying than tinkering with. And for some people, that might be worth it. And if you have friends who do drone racing or FPV racing, this is a way for you to get involved, and you can bring this to the event and watch them fly or fly yourself without needing to invest several hundred dollars on a more robust system that you don't know if you're gonna actually be using in the months to come. So that's the Fat Shark 101. It is available now in all your retailers online, and we'll have more drone reviews and product reviews in the future on Tested. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you next time.